There's a lot of information going around right now in regards to spirituality, non-duality, 3D to 5D consciousness, right? A lot of info. And it can be a lot to digest. It can be frustrating or confusing to like sort through and try to figure it out. So I'm just going to share with you some things that might be able to make things a little easier for you to understand and give you a perspective that can put everything into place. Because there's not anything that's like wrong. There's just ways to use all these different pieces of information, and you have to know how to like put them together. You have to start with non-duality. If you're going to make sense of anything, start with non-duality. Why? Because it is the root of it all. It is the essence of all of this. When we say God is everything and like we're all one, that's what we're talking about. Non-duality is knowing that there is no you and me, like two different things. It's all one thing appearing as all of this. It's, for like more scientific minded people, it's like the God particle of consciousness. It's the singularity of consciousness. It's pure intelligence, pure awareness. And when you can experience that for yourself, then everything else falls into place. Because one, it reminds you that none of this is real. None of this is real. This is God's dream. This is God as a leaf, and God as a tree, and God as Brooklyn, and God as this camera. Like it's just all play of God. And then you realize that all of the things that we make difficult or hard in life is just because we choose to make it that way. You know, like all of these things that we experience are here because that's the point of it all, is to feel it, to experience it, to go through it, to learn it. And that's why I think like love needs to be such a big part of science. Because if scientists would stop looking up the butt cracks of atoms for the God particle and went and meditated, you'd find it. You can't see a singularity outside of yourself. You are in the singularity because we're part of this system too. And so if you're looking outside of this physical body for a singularity, well then your idea of how this is all put together, it's skewed. You have to go into you guys, no, come on, welcome. I thought you were a deer at first. I was like, that's a big squirrel. Would you guys like to say anything to the viewers? These are my friends. You could just say.
We're over the election.
All right.
You know that. This is way better than any election.
We just need relentless positive action now.
Yes, I love that. Relentless positive action. Thank you for sharing. That happens a lot. Usually I cut it out, but I thought I'd leave it in because like when you're feeling good, when you're feeling love, like beautiful people just kind of like show up and it's great. The sun is shining down now. You can just feel the universe smiling because it's such good energy, such good energy. Anyway, so going back to what I was talking about in terms of trying to identify the singularity, like the God particle or whatever, like you can't do that efforting, because as soon as you try, as soon as you input, you've already stepped out of it. It's like being in this exact spot and someone being like, you are at your destination, you're there. And then you're like, where? And as soon as you move, you're like, nope, you're not there. Nope, back where you were before you were doing anything. And you're like, okay, here? And you're like, no. Like before you tried, you were already doing it. Stop trying. So take that as it resonates. I hope that maybe that clarifies some things. Recognize that you already are completely whole and perfect. God is inside of you, pretending to be you. What do you want to do? Do you want it to be exciting and fun and loving? Do you want it to be hard and, I don't know, stressful? Do you want it to be miserable? Do you want it to be mean and angry? What do you want to do? And then do that. One thing that I do want to say is that in the non-dual teachings of pointings, you hear, it doesn't matter, nothing matters. It's all good, nothing matters. And then you sort of wonder like, well, what does that mean? Do I just go around like being a jerk to people? Do I just go around punching people in the face if it doesn't matter? Well, just remember that you can do that if you want to, but there are laws of the universe. There is karmic law. There is what you create will come back. There are consequences to your actions. So, you know, if you're like, oh, it doesn't matter, I'm just gonna go like roll through and rob a bank real quick, yeah, you'll probably go to jail. Like, do whatever you want, but like, don't be surprised when the consequences show up at your door. But to be emotionally intelligent and to be a loving person would be a really good use of time here on this planet. Think about the children coming up. What kind of world could they live in? We see like futuristic sci-fi movies and they have these beautiful cities and these efficient ways of doing things and the technology and the way that they work with the natural world, like incredible, smart, simple, innovative. We could have that. We don't have to keep generating junk and things that pollute the environment. We don't have to do that if we don't want to. If we can separate ourselves from the idea that it's just the way it is, then we can be like, oh, we can do something else. And quite honestly, like, you don't even have to get into discovering your non-dual nature. You don't have to. Because like I said before, you already are that. So it's a choice that if you want to have an experiential awareness of that. But for me, it has allowed me to use my human experience in a more intelligent way, like using my energy in a more intelligent way. And it allows me to be happier and feel free in all of this. And recognizing my true nature is sort of like having the rails, right? So it's like when I know who I am, I can kind of wander all around and do all these things. And then when I get frustrated or confused or have these emotions, oh, hang on to the rail. Just remember, oh, I'm safe, I'm okay, it's fine. It's just an illusion. So it's very helpful. Highly recommended. 5 out of 5 stars, highly recommended. Don't get caught up in the, I don't know, what it is. Like, there's just a lot of information being put out there, a lot of excitement and a lot of like uncertainty and like, spirituality, how do I raise my vibration? Don't get caught up. Learn. I mean, do whatever you want to do. Do what feels good in your soul. But my advice is to do less. Be quiet. And if it is truly something that you seek, it will be revealed to you. But, you know, wearing crystals isn't going to make God appear to you, or like reading tarot cards isn't going to bring you into a higher awareness. They're just ways to make you feel closer to that. And if that's what you need to feel closer to it, do it. Like, it's better than like going out and doing something really truly destructive. But ultimately, not saying it's bad, but ultimately they're all placebos for the truth, which is you need nothing. I used to be into the crystals too. This is going to help me with calm my anxiety. And so when I see it, when I feel it, I'd remember to relax, right? But is it really the crystal? Maybe. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But what I do know for sure is that when I realized that I had the power to do it without anything, without the talismans, without the representations of whatever, like, it's just it's another level of freedom. So again, I just want to say, like, it's not bad. Do you. Because I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't get into that stuff and, like, you know, explore it and come to my own understandings of it. And so I don't want to disrespect anyone's journey or like sound like I'm judging your path. Definitely not. But I just do want to tell you that ultimately you will come to realize that it was inside you the whole time. So the next time you feel like, what do I do? How do I keep going? It's like, where are you going? The idea that you're trying to get somewhere is keeping you from realizing that you're already there. And it's my experience that kind of dropping the ego and just being a little more vulnerable, a little more loving, more kind, those are practices that keep me more aware of the presence. And I find that it just makes my life more meaningful. So it's about what you're searching for. But for me, I'm searching for freedom and truth and wisdom. And I want to use that to enrich my life and people who come in contact with me. If that's what you want to do, if you want to have positive energy, if you want to be a part of the love, if you want to be a part of experiencing the oneness, then that's where the emotional intelligence comes into play. It's a choice, but it's a powerful choice. No fear, no worry, no stress, no anxiety. It's a waste of your energy. You can do it if you want, but I wouldn't want to do it. I'd rather be out here taking a hike. Be at peace, find peace in yourself. And then follow your bliss and follow your joy. And just try not to hurt anybody on your way.